to Serial Podcast 9.
Welcome to Serial Podcast 9. My name is Gerard.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Ryan. And I usually say welcome to Serial Podcast 9, but it's a special day for Gerard, I guess. So we'll let him do it. Anyway, this is what? Episode 20.
20.
Woo!
20.
Oh, actually, I might bump this one up a bit, but it would be nice that it's 20 because it is the 20th anniversary of the original Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh, that's right. We missed that.
Shit.
And guess what we're talking about, Gerard? The original Fast and the Furious movie. It'd be nice to try to focus on that one, but I feel it's pretty hard to talk about them and not bleed into the other ones.
I would honestly probably have to watch them a little more recently. Like I can't quite remember all of them.
Don't worry.
I have watched them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I can't remember the last time I watched a lot of them, and I've probably seen the first one the most.
Yeah, obviously, because it's the best. Don't worry, you guys. I literally went to school for this. I finally get to put my film theory to good use.
Nice.
Hope you guys are ready to hear about how I correlate this to German expressionism. I'm not going to do any of those things, but I did actually.
I got excited.
Good. Yeah. No, it's more like French New Wave, I think,
Yeah. It's not film noir.
Oh, no, definitely not film noir. Actually, maybe it could be a little bit close to film noir. The first one's pretty gritty. But anyway.
Is it? Okay. Sounds like you're going to be an expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some fun facts for us. But, all right. So it's the 20th anniversary. Fast and the Furious came out. Like, if you like the car scene that we're into, chances are you like the first one. Is that a fair thing to say?
Mm-hmm.
I would say so.
Did you guys go see it in movie theaters?
The first one?
Yeah.
Likely, yes.
Did you remember?
I believe yes, I did.
Did you drive a cool car to the movie theater to go see it?
Probably not. I never had a fucking cool car back then.
I did not.
How did you not have a cool car back then, Gerard?
What year was that? Like 2000?
2000. Well, it was 20 years ago. So
2001?
2001. So 2001? You must have had a cool car in 2001.
No, 2001, I had just started my shop and I was like a bum. I had an EF hatch that I had studded the tires on manually and proceeded to blow out all the studs and be stranded on the side of the road.
All right.
So we had a huge snowfall and I'm like, yo, this is gonna be so sick. I've never studded tires before. And I drilled all of them and put like bolts and shit, like full like Finland spec. And then it just didn't really work out.
How have we never talked about that in all of the things that we've talked about?
Yeah, that seems like a mod that didn't really work out.
Yeah, man. We talked about like all these and you're like never done a shitty mod except this one time I manually studded all these tires.
It didn't really work out very well.
All right.
That's all I remember.
Did you get into an accident and have head trauma? Like what happened? You don't remember. I guess it was 20 years ago. Kevin, did you drive a cool car to the movie theater when you went to go see it?
No, definitely not. I don't think I had a cool car back then. I think I had maybe my first car or something still. Would you
have had your license at that point?
Basically, I was the youngest in my grade, so everybody was older than me. So I just got everybody else to drive.
Yeah. But I had my Mazda at the time when that movie came out. But you guys were all into cars when the movie came out?
Yeah, of course.
All right,
I had probably just sold my A86 because I had just left Teamwork Autosports where I was had a job and a cool car and all that shit, and then I proceeded to thought I could do it better and start this basically fucked up shop and proceed to sell all the cool stuff that I had in order to afford said shop. But I mean, there was a bunch of car racing back then. We definitely used to go to a lot of car racing back then.
Yeah. Here's a question.
Fast and Furious came out in 97. Is that correct?
No, 2001. 20 years ago. Okay. That would be 20-year anniversary.
Sorry.
What has happened?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm trying to figure out how old I was back then.
How old are you now?
Minus 20.
I don't even know. I was born in 1986.
So you're 35, aren't you? 36?
I would have been 15.
Yeah, so you probably didn't have a car or a license at that point.
Yeah.
But you were fully into cars, right? You've been into cars since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Did that movie like propel you into it further, or what do you like? How did you, when you saw the movie, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I thought, I basically thought it was all good. All of it was cool. Like I wanted to be part of that culture, if you will,
And then Gerard, you were kind of like chasing that. It sounds like you were like, I'm going to have a shot.
Well, I was already kind of like, I was heavily into like the Honda scene, street racing. I had already had like a first gen RX-7, and I had an A86 with full coilovers and some crazy exhaust and, stuff like that. And then, I was building an LS VTEC for this said EF hatch, which basically fizzled out into nothing because I didn't have any money because I just started this stupid shop. But I had all this stuff to build. Like basically I was going to build like a crazy NA B20 VTEC EF.
Right. So this movie, when it came out, probably felt like, did it not feel like it was tapping into something that you were very familiar with? Like it was like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely thought it was like rad, but the thing that definitely struck me
was it already cheesy? Like right
I was
away?
just gonna say, like the thing that definitely struck me as weird is because I mean at that time I would pick up Turbo Magazine or Sport Compact Car, and that style was definitely pretty prevalent of like the weird gaudy colors, and like it was like a weird Cali style. I didn't really like it, but I mean it was definitely it was like 18-inch wheels with huge body kits on Civics. That was already happening. So I mean I guess Fast and Furious was like, yo, like let's just like bring this to the next level. But I had already, like I said, built that other Civic that was not that style, but still, had a body kit and a turbo and all that other stuff. But aesthetically, I definitely did think the cars in Fast and Furious were really fucked up. So like who are these catering to? It was really weird. Like
9-year-old boys. It's like Hot Wheels. They look like Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
They do. But I mean, that's the thing is like if they were like, a single color and looked quote unquote cool in our books, like if they looked like the drift cars that we were into,
aren't they all a single color?
No, man. I mean, they're yellow and silver and the orange, and they're all like fucked up.
They all have like liveries and like vinyl.
Yeah,
they have a big livery, but I think they're all like one.
A lot of them are single.
No, well, like the car is a single color, but the livery is another color. Like that's what I mean. Like
they had like weird knights reaching for the moon or something on the side. Like
whatever that shit was.
They didn't really make sense, but yeah.
I just think they wouldn't have had the same effect, and they perhaps wouldn't have been as iconic. Because I mean, like for example, if you look at like Kiguchi's car, it's sick to us, but like if you're an idiot that's never seen cars and they're trying to get people into cars or into this movie, Kiguchi's car doesn't have the same impact as like a whatever that knight is holding the spear like on the side. You know what I mean? Or some other weird, ridiculous livery that like really made no sense whatsoever.
I mean, okay, so this is what I am aware of, and I could be very wrong. Fast and the Furious they based the screenplay on a article that came out for Vibe magazine that was on California street racing. I think it was called like Racer X or something like that. And then from there they like built out the screenplay. Now, I've brought this up before. I'm going to bring it up again because I only recently just learned this. And if you're young, maybe you don't know this. Fast and the Furious is just pretty much a ripoff of Point Break with Keanu Reeves.
You're such an idiot.
Yeah. You said this like in one of the
I know, but
before.
I'm reiterating it. I'm reiterating just for the context. So then
tell me why. Explain your thesis.
Okay, so Point Break, for those that don't know, is an officer that goes undercover into the surfing scene to find criminals that are like robbing banks, and they figure out that they're following this like the surf globally or whatever. And then what happens is his main character is lying to everyone, which is Keanu Reeves, falls in love with this girl, lies to her. So that girl is pretty much Mia from the Fast and the Furious.
Yep.
And then Patrick Swayze's character is Toretto,
basically,
so this like guy that everyone flocks to.
Because he's super dope, but he's also a criminal. But he stands for the right things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
And then like Keanu Reeves kind of lets the guy walk at the end a little bit. It's a little bit like blurry. He kind of like Patrick Swayze refuses to go to jail, and he like goes and rides this crazy surf wave knowing that he's not coming back. Keanu Reeves lets him go, but it's all a lot of the same things. It's this theme of like
100%
being torn, and it's like also really banks on kind of like a niche market, right? Like somebody cashed in on car culture at that point. Import car culture was on the up and up, and they were like, hey, you know what? The studio saw it and was probably like, we could make a ton of money off of this for not a lot of investment.
Mhm.
And that's what they did. And now we're at 9 movies and none of them make sense anymore. And I mean, anyway, to your point though, Gerard, about how the cars all stand out being ridiculous colors. I think the only movie that I've fully watched the like director commentary on is Fast and the Furious. And they said that they painted houses in the background to be like dollar colors so that the cars would stick out more.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
frame.
total sense.
They like made the houses pastel so the cars would pop.
And then they talk about, and like when they talk about the movie, the director really like romanticizes everything. And they'll be like, they didn't have rear view mirrors because they never look back. I'm like, well, that's probably bullshit. I don't know. Like a lot of